Welcome back to the Tidarium Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a weekly news and review for July 4th, 2021. I hope everybody's enjoying their holiday weekend, and if you're in a country that doesn't celebrate it, just enjoy your weekend. A lot of great news going on this week. We got Transformers Masterpiece, Mainline Legends, everything going on with Transformers, a little bit of Joe, and a little bit of Star Wars. We'll talk about it all coming up. First off, some cool stuff that I see at Show Z. We got 52 Toys Beast Box, and this is their BB33 Blazing Spear. This is a pretty cool looking box, and if you don't know what these boxes, they transform into a cube for 25 bucks. Next up at Show Z, we got the King Arts Diecast Scene Series, the DFS 074 Getter Robo Getter 1. Anyway, this thing is pretty cool. It's kind of interesting. It's one of those more oddball kind of things, $5 down. It's going to be 10.24 inches tall. It's going to have battle damage armor, clean armor. It's going to have 3 heads, 5 pairs of hands, cloth cape, plastic cape, 2 axes, and no price just yet. And one of the cooler things this week, and it's available for pre-order at Show Z for $1, and I'm guessing it's going to be about $40. This is a collab between Dr. Wu and Mechanic Studios, the MS-30 Amy RC. It's a Legends scale, and it will probably be a little on the Legends Plus, almost 4 inches tall for an RC. That's a pretty good size, and she looks really good. More on that to come. Maybe I should have said coming up. Okay, KFC P15 Grand Rajan, the Power Master Optimus Prime Super Genrai Armor color samples here. So this looks good. KFC does make some nice looking bots. The only thing I really would say to critique this, I think the feet look a little weird. But other than that, it looks really good for a Power Master Optimus Prime. You've got, what, 4 or 5 different head options. You have a battle damage, kind of a weird looking goofy head at the bottom there. So many options, so many head options. This thing looks really good for what it is. Here is the trailer mode, and it's all armored up, and you can put all of the guns and store them in there. And this is the base mode. I see this, and I have flashbacks to the X-Transbots base mode. I guarantee you, this will only be like 10% of the trouble to get to this mode as the X-Transbots was to get to this mode. But still, they had this in the G1 toy. You gotta have it. So Transcraft is putting out pictures of their TC02R Bumblebee Cliff Jumper, and this is a color prototype, so it's getting further along. Now they've already made their Bumblebee, and I understand Transcraft is probably the best of these options, so it's a nice looking Cliff Jumper also, and I think Cliff Jumper kind of gets left behind and left in the dust. Here he is in his alt mode, and this is the VW, and it's truly a car-inspired alt mode. It looks good. I like it. If you're in for the Bumblebee movie style, here it is. So Fans Toys has come out with more pictures of actual prototypes of their FD25 Outrider, which means they're moving along very nicely with this project. And I don't see a price for it, so that's kind of concerning to me. Is it still going to be $150 like they say? Will this be the $220? But let's just enjoy the good points about it. It does look really good, and it does seem like they kind of handled the shoulders better than what went on with X-Transbots. It seems very solid from the pictures. Here is a size comparison, sort of. Now, this is a shady size comparison because I think that it's going to be a little shorter than we expect, and that's kind of why they did the picture like this. But still looks really good, and I'm okay with this guy being a little short. It's not the end of the world for me, but looks good. Looking at all the different angles, this thing is super clean. I still think the X-Transbots one is pretty darn clean also. So they are really trying to do the best they can to be the best and beat X-Transbots here. I'm still a little off-put about the way the hood is just so high up and out in the front. That's kind of one of my problems with this, but other than that, it still looks pretty good. Here's the alt mode and a size comparison next to a few others of theirs. Their Huffer that is yet to be released. but is coming up soon, and also their Dune Rider. So, looks pretty good. Oh no, but wait, there's more. Fans Toys is showing off their version of Hoist. So it's the FT26, and there's no name. It's no name yet. So we just see gray prototype grayscale pictures next to their Outrider. So here we go, and I knew they'd borrow some engineering in a way, but it looks like it's so much different, kind of the same thing X-Transbots did. Here's a side-by-side alt mode comparison to Outrider, and you can see the differences and the changes and where they went different than their Outrider. So I like the fact they're not super mirror image and exact copies, but there's enough similarities in there that they can kind of make use of that tooling and the molds being similar. Here shows some features and functionality in the alt mode like you would expect and like we get with pretty much every iteration of a Hoist, but there it is. I'm really looking forward to the painted green on this, because green is an interesting color if painted well. Yeah, this FT26 looks really good. Came out of left field, but not really. Not really. It should have been expected by all of us. We've also got some updated pictures of packaging and how they're going to ship the $700 RoboSyn, which I'm guessing that's going to be another $2,000 on the secondary market type of deal. I'm sure they're going to make more than one run, but anyway, here is a really interesting packaging. There is kind of an inside shell of a styrofoam to hold it in place and keep it from breaking. And here it is in its styrofoam shell and everything that's going on. Just kind of fun to see an update to such a massively expensive and groundbreaking project. So Kang Toys is doing a lucky draw giveaway with their CT02SP, which is going to be a gold version. Looks pretty good, pretty interesting. I kind of like these things in gold. I don't know so much about the Golden Lagoon with this guy, but this one does look really interesting, and I hope the winner really enjoys it. So we've got another picture of this really interesting helicopter transformer. They say it's TFC is going to be making it, but it says Sci-Figure Industry. So more information is to come on this. This thing's going to be 45 centimeters by 30 by 13. So let's translate 45 centimeters. I don't know if this thing's really going to be 18 inches, but whatever. We'll see more on this coming up. So getting into some Legends news here, I really think the biggest Legends news this week is this Amy. This is a Mechanic Studio or McFans Toys collaboration with Dr. Wu to make an RC that looks amazing. This thing looks great in both modes. It is tiny at 4 inches, and it really does rival the Masterpiece counterparts that are out there. Here is the alt mode in a little bit bigger form here, and I think it looks great. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a Masterpiece that looked like that. Yes, there's a couple of things that could be scaled down if you make it bigger, like some of the joints could be smaller if the overall figure was bigger, which would lead to a better aesthetic, more or less. And I always hope for a Masterpiece iteration, but when it comes to Legends, it's kind of a waste of time these days. Now, I'm not going to be just singing the praises all day. The backpack is too big. I mean, with this figure and this character, if it transforms, you're going to have somewhat of a big backpack. You're going to have a shell former in one way, shape, or form, no matter what. But it's really pretty good, especially considering it's Legends. Speaking of Legends, we have 3 more colors of the Bumblebee for New Age. Yes, there's 3 more colors. Last week we had 2 of these, and I think immediately they announced more. So we got the clear Cliff Jumper, we got the clear Bumblebee, and we got a gold Cliff Jumper. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get a gold bee, but the gold Cliff Jumper looks pretty cool. But it's not vac metalized, but I think that New Age does a great job with paint. And all I gotta say is be careful with that clear plastic. So New Age is shipping out their Devastator, and it looks really good so far with the packaging, and it's going to be a healthy delivery. and there's going to be some twist to this. What's that? New Age is going to make another color of their Devastator? Well, this is the first recolor of like 20. I don't know how many different colors they're going to make. I wonder if New Age is going to rival Toy World in recolors of Devastators. That would be interesting to see. But anyway, I think it looks good. I mean, I've got the G2 of the original G2 version of this. I think it's pretty cool that you got some sort of color variation. But I don't know if I'm going to be going in on like $250 to get a second color of another Devastator in a display for my Legends. I don't know how many people are in on this. And I'm thinking, here's what I'm thinking. They're going to make less of this than they do of the green one. That just kind of makes sense. It's common sense. It's good business practice. So if you want this, as soon as the pre-orders come up, you got to get on it. So we've got some fuzzy, blurred out pictures of Magic Square's Jazz. And Magic Square's making a Jazz. I think the other one was made by Toy World and it was too small. And the fact that Magic Square's doing is going to be pretty big, pretty good size. So I'm looking forward to that. So here is the back of it. I don't know why the pictures are so grainy and fuzzy, but it looks good. It almost looks good enough to rival that of what we see from Fans Toys so far. Magic Square does good work. I'm not going to lie. I look forward to this thing. No pre-orders yet, no price, no nothing, but these fuzzy images. So getting into the Mainline Hasbro news, there's no more Mainline than, well, a recolor of an actual vintage Soundwave. The mold is still up and running, and let's just recolor it. This is the J Balvin X Transformers J Balvatron official reveal. The thing is going to be $70, and you're going to have to order it from NTWRK platform, whatever that is, on the 13th of July. And it comes with 2 cassettes that transform. You've got a Ravage that looks like a tiger, which looks cool. And you've got a Laserbeak that looks white. I don't know about all this, but it was all personally handpicked by the J Balvin guy. Anyway, this guy's already made a few other deals with McDonald's Happy Meals and Air Jordan and all that stuff. So, kind of cool. If you want it, pick it up. Kind of reminds me of the Linkin Park edition. Another unlikely sort of a tie-in with Transformers is this Dawson Racing, that they put Transformers on their race car for a 2.5-hour drive or race. And it's interesting how this collaboration worked out. It's one of those things, it's kind of a reverse type of collaboration. Instead of making a toy out of the car is promoting the brand. But the biggest collaboration so far this week is the Transformers crossover with Jurassic Park, and it's a Tyrannicon Rex versus the JP93 vehicle revealed. This is pretty cool. So I would say it's exactly what I expected, but it can't be exactly what I expected because I expected just one figure, not 2. So throwing in this Jurassic Park vehicle on top of it is a pretty interesting idea and an interesting take and a way to go with this whole collaboration. So here they are in their bot modes and not the alt modes. And the difference here is that the Megatron from Beast Wars is recolored, and it's an interesting use of that mold. I saw this coming last week. I said it was going to be a T-Rex, and I just really couldn't picture what the bot mode. Well, there is the bot mode, but let's see a bit of a comparison. So here it is compared to the other iterations of Megatron and this mold and the recolor that they've already done. So there it is. It looks interesting. Definitely distinctively different than anything else we've seen. So Super 7 has released their images of Wave 4 of their reaction line. Love them, hate them, care about them, don't care about them. They're a thing in Transformers that's going on right now and will not be going on forever. Well, I don't think they'll be going on forever. But anyway, starting off, this is the Fallen Leader Optimus Prime action figure. Dead Optimus Prime, Sleep Optimus Prime, whatever you want to call him. But there he is. And I'm not so in on the variations of them. I'm in on one of each character, so I don't know if I'm in on this one. Here is Galvatron. I think the Galvatron one looks cool. Half of the price of the $18 price point is the artwork. The other half is the 5 POA figure, or maybe it's 7 POA. Maybe this has some elbows on it. Looks like it has some elbows. But still, this is not something you're going to get out, transform, do a whole lot with. You're probably going to leave it on the card and just admire it on the card. It looks good. Here is the Coronation Starscream, or King Starscream. And it's obligatory. You knew they were going to do it. Kind of cool that they're doing it. I would have rather had this than the first one, maybe. I don't know. I still have one, so I'm happy. But it's cool they're doing it. Yeah, I'd say if you missed Wave 1, but Wave 1's still available everywhere. So, anyway, getting into the next one, Hot Rod. So, it looks cool. I don't know if they're going to do a Hot Rod and a Rodimus, but I guess the way they're going, they're going to do a Hot Rod and a Rodimus. Probably, I'm guessing. I still think it looks pretty good. This is one of the better looking ones that really matches the character very well as a Hot Rod. So what's showing up at US retail? Well, we do have this slag right here. It's pretty cool. I want to say that I'm personally excited about them doing all the Dinobots in Leader Class. They should have done this from the get-go. It took a while to get here. Now that we're here, we need to enjoy it because it won't last forever. And the other thing showing up at US retail is this Core Class Legend scale size 3 3/4 to 4 inch scale sound wave. Looks pretty cool. Looks pretty good. For $10, you get a pretty decent figure. And it transforms into this for $10. Not bad. And it comes with a cassette that does not transform, but it still looks like a cassette. So we got pictures in hand of the Kingdom version of First Aid. The left one is Siege, the right one is Kingdom, or, you know, continuation of the Earth modes that's going on right there. I think it looks good. I do think it looks better. Not vastly better, but better enough. It doesn't have the space sludge. I kind of like the coloring of the lower legs better, but still, it looks pretty good overall. I think where this one's really going to win is the alt mode. The alt mode looks more Earth mode-esque than the Siege one, and Siege was going for Cybertronian made up, never seen before, brand new Cybertronian modes. So that's the Siege thing. That's what turned me off to Siege in the beginning, and I'm really in on Earthrising Kingdom because of this. So we've got some information on the Kingdom Deluxe Slammer that's coming out to go right alongside your 6-shot there, or your 6-gun rather. And this is supposed to work with your 2013 Metroplex, which kind of shoots a negative thought to my theory they'll make a new Metroplex, but maybe this is more fact they'll make a new Metroplex eventually. But still looking at it, they does a few things. It separates into 8 separate weapons, and it also transforms in 20 steps, and he also comes with his own personal blaster. No pictures yet. This is just information about it. Would have loved to see pictures. And this is pretty interesting that they're going this deep to give you these sub-line characters that were just merely accessories in G1. So we got some package images of the Studio Series version of Bumblebee. This is the Dark of the Moon Deluxe Scale, $23 one, I believe. And it looks like the Bumblebee, all right. Also, we've got the Studio Series Sweep. Now, this is just basically Scourge, slightly different, and change the name on the package. There you go, Scourge. If you missed out on Scourge, well, you can get him again. He's called a Sweep. And we've also got Revenge of the Fallen Deluxe Jolt. There he is, coming up as number 75. So, interesting voice actor information. We've got Ron Perlman. Yes, Hellboy himself is going to be voicing Optimus Primal, but he's already done this in the past. This is he's worked for the Machinima series, and now this is going to be for the Rise of the Beasts. So, interesting to know and be hearing or listening for his voice in the movie. So we got 2 things to talk about in the Joe world. You know, G.I. Joe's easy. Oh, there's only 2 things this week to talk about. And there won't be anything for 3 weeks. So, this is Mezco's Roadblock looking super G1 version 1. And It looks good. It's got soft goods. It's a little bit stylized, and I don't know if the face quite matches what I would think, but I think it matches closer than what Hasbro did. So Mezco definitely does a pretty good job with their stuff. They got all these different hands you can use. I like his helmet. It looks more realistic than what we got in the G1 or the original vintage toy. And of course you get the knife, the gun, the handgun, the sidearm. But can we get a longer barrel on his main gun? Yeah, I thought part of the Mezco scene. I think you get like 28 seconds to order it, but good luck. Anyway, here we are with the Dreadnought. This is supposed to be a CDC or some sort of con exclusive. The information isn't out yet, and some people think it might be a hoax. I'm pretty sure it's for real. Hasbro wants to sell you every figure repainted 4 times. Cobra Commander, Destro, all of those. We're already getting Duke and Roadblock and all of them repainted over and over and over. Scarlet. Why not Zartan? So I think it looks great. I think it is a nice look to Zartan. Kind of homages the original vintage toy that had all those clear pieces. Now they're just painted silver where they were clear. That works out. You've got all these other faces. Head swaps makes sense so he could disguise himself. Really cool. I'm guessing it's $40. I'm guessing. We'll see. So getting into a little bit of Star Wars news, we're starting to see the VC-176, VC-201, VC-202, VC-203. So this would be the ARC Trooper Echo for 176, Maul for Mandalore for the 201, Ahsoka from Mandalore for 202, and the Off-World Jawa at 203. And I gotta say, Vintage Collection is come a long way, but for us to be at 200 and we don't have the original 96, shame on you, Hasbro. So those of you that are interested in getting this Bad Batch 4-pack that sold out almost instantaneously, it doesn't really personally interest me. But so many people are interested in it, and now that I've thought about it, I think they're all going to have their own card backs to it, so I kind of want it now. It's going to get reissued. They're going to have more up for order like they've done in the past with some of the Amazon exclusives. So I think that's going to happen with this one too. Other people think the same thing. So if you didn't get it, don't pay, $200-300, whatever nonsense when they come out. Amazon will probably reissue it, but I can't guarantee it. So we've had a video explaining what's going on with the Visions, and I would normally play a video, but with Star Wars, you'll get striked quick if you do anything Star Wars video and you don't have permissions, and I'm not a big enough channel for that. So I'm just going to show you this boring picture and tell you sort of what's going on. So Visions is basically other creators' vision of Star Wars. They play out a scene, a scenario, and a story they want to tell, and it's sort of in the style of anime. Not in the style of Star Wars, not in the style of anything we've seen before. And it's an interesting concept, and I'm not going to judge it till I see it, but I can tell you I'm probably not going to be it's not going to be my favorite version of Star Wars ever, but I like that they're doing it. They're trying something different, but Hasbro's going to try 13 different things at the same time. So Walmart has updated their product pages for the latest vintage collection figures here, and you're going to be able to find them on Walmart, but the problem is you're going to find them sold out. They updated the information, the images, and the pre-order status of being sold out, but I think we're going to find these in the store just fine. I'm going to walk in and I'm going to be able to select the best looking card back, the best looking bubble, and some people actually look at the paint, but the problem with ordering it online, you're going to get it and it's going to be smashed. It's going to look like it got run over by a train if you ordered it online. So let me know what you think about this week's weekly news and review. What else is going on out there? What did I miss? What else is going on? Like, subscribe. Tiberium Hanger out.